E3 is quickly approaching and there are a lot of things to be excited for. From E3 actually holding some kind of event, to the game developers getting used to the current status quo and wanting to show their fans that they are still dedicated to releasing some great games, today I am here to talk about a game I hope gets some kind of announcement. That's The Crew 3 by Ubisoft. Welcome to Left Paw Gaming, The Crew 3 at E3. Before I talk about why I think The Crew 3 will be announced, let's talk a bit about the series' history to help you understand why I feel the way I do about the next entry into this racing franchise. The Crew was released December 2nd, 2014, and to be honest, I was interested in this game because I was looking for the next amazing racing game since Need for Speed Underground 2. I'm a racing game enthusiast. I like cars, the racing controls, the customization, which the customization lately is what has really been making me miss the glory days of Underground 2. So when The Crew was announced, I followed it very closely, played the beta, and was definitely left anxious to get my hands on the full game. The game touted the recreation of the United States, and for the most part, I feel that it delivered. Issues from the beta with the controls not feeling as sharp as they needed to were quickly resolved, and the game was amazing. Did I mention that the story was actually pretty engaging as well? The story pits the main character, Alex Taylor, voiced by Troy Baker, against the FBI agent who arrested him 5 years earlier for the murder of his own brother. The story has you driving around ranking up in the street gang to ultimately take down FBI agent Coburn, wherein Alex wins his freedom and redemption, and then finally takes up his brother's place, an old mantle of V8 of the racing world. The game received pretty mixed reviews, with most of them saying they enjoyed the detailed world in both fullness and mission design, while not exactly enjoying the microtransactions. So all in all, The Crew felt like a solid start to a series that even got itself a couple of DLCs before The Crew 2 was even announced. The Crew 2 was released June 29th, 2018, and while I was very excited to get my hands on this game, what I hoped for and what I got were two different things. That doesn't necessarily mean that the game was bad, but it wasn't what I was looking for. Instead of the narrative-driven story of the first game, we got an open world with multiple hubs that you essentially strove to be the best in a particular type of discipline. In the racing world, that is. Coming off of the win I feel that The Crew 1 delivered, this game I was extremely excited to be able to race in boats, planes, dirt bikes, basically anything that you couldn't race during the first game. This game had it. The main purpose of your unnamed character was to ascend to the pinnacle of racing and be the top racer in the country in all disciplines. This game's tone was a lot lighter and had more tones of being a racing festival type of game, similar to the Forza Horizon games, than a traditional street racer type that I was expecting based on the first game. Still, reaching the pinnacle of excellence of this game was pretty cool, considering you got to be an amazing racer in whatever vehicle you wanted across the entire United States. This entry into the series actually received better reviews than the first overall, with many people enjoying the fact that you weren't tied down to a linear story, and the sheer amount of vehicles and racing disciplines that were included in this game. That's the part that still makes me jump in. Sometimes I want to fly, sometimes drive, and sometimes ride on water. The Crew 2 ended up being a successful sequel, and the game keeps getting updates. They are currently on Season 2, Episode 2 of their new episodic release schedule, with 6 other content-packed updates before that even took off. This brings me to my reasons for The Crew 3 to be announced this year at E3. Finally, we have come to my reasoning for us to see The Crew 3 announced this year. Now let's get the obvious out of the way. The original was released in 2014 and the sequel was released in 2018. That means that The Crew 3 could be released in 2022, by this logic at least. That would make E3 this year a great time to announce, with E3 2022 dropping an open beta right into everyone's lap. Not necessarily something outside of the realm of possibility with Ubisoft, but who knows. Ubisoft is likely to reveal The Crew 3 because Ubisoft bets heavily on their tested franchises. Take a look at Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Far Cry, and the continuing support on the Tom Clancy series, and you can see that Ubisoft is willing to invest in what sells, and that they have a pretty solid track record of continuing games when they do well. I feel that with Ubisoft stating in their February 2021 call that they will make AAA less of a focus and put more focus into mobile and freemium games following the fiscal year 2022, that they're going to choose a handful of games to focus on, and having a solid racing game in that mix can certainly help capture more of a broad audience and keep their sales way up. Finally, with Ubisoft focusing on games as a service, the Crew series, especially the Crew 2 in its current setup that is set perfectly to bring another entry into the franchise to flagship this momentum moving forward. We can only wait and see what E3 holds at the Ubisoft Forward event this year. There you have it, guys, my reasoning for why we can expect to see the Crew 3 get announced by Ubisoft this year. Sure, these are just speculations, but that's what makes E3 fun, the anticipation, the excitement, and the awesome reveals. Let me know in the comments below if you think we can look forward to another entry into the Crew, or what you are most excited for this year. As usual, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed this video for more content just like this, and be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you're notified anytime I drop a new walkthrough video or more videos just like this. We will see you guys in the next video.